Is not an indication that the present administration is not frontally addressing the menace. In fact, during the week, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated security infrastructure both on land and sea. This move is a demonstration of his commitment to ending insecurity of all forms and his determination to strengthen Nigeria's unity. Michael Olaleye reports.
This symbolizes the beginning of a new era in the Gulf of Guinea. It is the answer to all forms of threat inhibiting the country from harnessing the blue economy. With an estimated coastline of 854 kilometers and 200 nautical miles of exclusive economic zone, Nigeria sits on gold mile, but piracy, kidnapping, unregulated fishing and trafficking are the clog in the wheel of progress. The Deep Blue project was conceived as an answer, and today, with 16 armored vehicles for coastal patrol, 4 unmanned air drones, 17 fast interceptor boats, 2 special mission vessels, 2 special mission aircraft, and 3 helicopters, Nigeria waterway is no longer a safe haven for criminals.
I am confident that the project, which provides a robust maritime security architecture, will enhance maritime domain awareness capability and improve law enforcement action, particularly in the prosecution of suspects under the Suppression of Piracy and Other Maritime Offences Act, which I signed into law in June 2019. In this regard, I have been informed that since the coming into force of the law, 10 convictions have been secured for various offenses under the Act.
Even before inauguration, the idea of the Deep Blue project has been sending shockwaves across the waterways, such that the coordinating agency, Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, recorded drastic fall in maritime crimes.
We have just signed an agreement, an international agreement with the ICC International Coordinating Center to ensure that the issue of maritime insecurity did not stop within the economic zone of Nigeria, but also extended to the Gulf of Guinea. The President, with his magnanimity, in 2019 he signed SPOMO Act, that's Suppression of Piracy and Other Related Crime. Section 19 of that particular act has given us the leverage on how we can get the funds to manage these assets and to be able to maintain the issue of maritime insecurity. So in so doing, we will be able to see the sustainability of the project.
It is not just a product of regional cooperation, but interagency synergy, as 600 personnel cutting across the various security agencies constitute the maritime security units of the platform.
The aim is to stabilize and increase economic activities in this environment with a view to reclaiming the huge foreign exchange that is hitherto been lost to piracy in the Nigerian maritime environment.
It will get down the cost of shipping, that's one, which is good for stakeholders. Then of course safety of the goods and safety of the people.
It is an assurance to the international trading community that Nigeria has taken full control of its maritime waters and it will enhance trade, both our exports and imports.
The Deep Blue project has both land, sea and air infrastructure, but the mandate to promote internal security informed the procurement of various gadgets for the police in Lagos, and President Buhari was on ground for the official handing over.
Let me also use this opportunity to reiterate that my directive to security agencies to shoot any person or persons found illegally wielding AK-47s and other assault weapons remain in place. As Commander-in-Chief, my primary responsibility remains the security of the country and the safety of all citizens. Despite the many challenges we are facing, I want Nigerians to rest assured that we will secure this country. We will secure our infrastructure, our highways, our communities, and our forests, and we will secure the lives of our people.
The security equipment include 150 double cabin vehicles, 30 saloon patrol vehicles, 1,000 vests, 1,000 hayments, 1,000 handheld police radios, and 100 security patrol bikes. Others are 2 armored personnel carriers, 4 high-capacity troop carriers, 2 anti-riot water cannon vehicles, and other support resources.
All armed robbers, whatever name you are called, kidnappers, cultists, traffic robbers, bandits, and other criminals, we will leave no stone unturned in making Lagos inhospitable for you.
I restate our loyalty, commitment, and determination to reclaim all public spaces from the hands of hoodlums and continue to work with all stakeholders in strengthening security and public safety.
These interventions, coming within a week, points to the readiness of the present administration to end crime and criminality, and all that is left is for the citizens to support government in this aggressive drive.
We are making progress indeed. A united nation is a formidable force. Let's have that in mind. Now to entrepreneurial creativity. He is one of the many petty traders in Abuja who hawks around major streets with a commodity sold by hundreds of persons like him. His looks, extra efforts, and style make his business stand out in the midst of multitude. Momso Damian Dati came across him and filed this report.
There are hundreds of thousands of people involved who are engaged in similar or the same businesses. Tiger nuts, for instance, is a nutritional fruit that has many sellers on the streets, markets, malls, kiosks, and even offices. But not all of these sellers have the skills, styles, and swags of Isa Amadou, whose methods distinguishes him from others. The 50-year-old from Mayama in Kebbi State, who is married with children, has been doing this for 30 years, he says. With
this trade, I've been able to build a house, educate my children, and assist others. Others too assist.
From head to toe, he is well dressed as someone going for an official engagement, with his official pen in the pocket. But lo, his wheelbarrow, neatly decorated with his tiger nuts, is his office.
This one, I do go market here na UTC. Come carry money, they bring here. This one na office here. Na office.
When I started wearing corporate wears, I experienced a change in my business. More people now patronize me and give me gifts.
As a young man then, Issa relocated to Abuja 30 years ago in search of greener pastures and went into commercial motorcycling, sugarcane selling, garden egg hawking, then turned house help before resorting to this business.
100, 300, 400, 100 naira, 50 naira.
Want to buy this yaki hausa? I used to take this thing because I know it's good to my health. And most of the time, when I see the one that the maggot has tempered with it, I don't like to buy. But I discovered that this very one is big. They see this big. And it's very neat. I can see this man is a very neat person. That is what motivates me to come and buy it.
His desire to become a lawyer is a dream very much alive, he tells me.
I would have loved to be a lawyer. I admire them, their dressing, everything. I never went to school. I didn't have an interest. Even when my father took me, I left. But if I had known, I would have stayed back and schooled.
While waiting for that dream to come to fruition, Issa is already feeling like one. After all, he dresses like the learned man and ensures strict compliance with the laws of the land.
Well done, Issa, and don't give up on your dream, and say it is good to put in your best in whatever you do. It's a plus any day. Now, the Sustainable Development Goal 8 is aimed at eradicating forced labor and modern-day slavery and human trafficking, as well as secure the prohibition and elimination of the worst forms of child labor. Annie Daniels in Lagos takes a look at this all-important issue and how feasible it is to eradicate child labor by 2025.
I've been hearing about Lagos, so I just came to see how Lagos is.
Mama, you've seen Lagos?
I've seen Lagos.
So tell us about Lagos.
Lagos is a business place. It's just to make business, do your money, and think well for yourself.
These are some underaged girls lured from their villages to Lagos in search of greener pastures.
I've met somebody at the market. And he told me, say, whether I will come to Lagos. I thought, say, yes, I will come to Lagos. And he brought me to Lagos and he won't leave me.
Little did they know they were only here for prostitution.
She said that she's doing prostitution. I said, I can't do it. She said that I will do it. It must.
I do not shower for you now.
So they sleep with men, different men every day?
Yes.
Somebody they pay you?
Sometimes you can pay for 1 time, sometimes you can pay 150, sometimes you can pay 500.
So since 2018, they do that kind of work?
Yes.
This, of course, is a clear case of child labor and slavery. What about these ones who have to trek long distances to Obalende to sell roasted fishes for their parents and guardians?
My mom don't get money. I will take and pay school fees. Now I can't sell fish.
So they start from 7 in the morning till 6 in the evening, every day. Like Elizabeth and Francis, several others exist in Lagos. Out-of-school children who, though have tall dreams, yet may never accomplish those beautiful dreams. No thanks to child labor. You like this work they do?
Yes, I like them.
Why you like them?
Now my work now, because my tomorrow now. If I don't do now, I don't come out for small picking. Waiting me, I go to shop. Now because I learn work.
Every blessed day I see them. And this one are even big. They are ones that are even smaller than those ones. And what they carry at times, I'm like, wow. At least it's bad. I think it's bad. They might get raped. Because this Obalende is full of bad guys and everything.
If parents want their children to help them become big men in their own time, and prepare those children to become big men in their own time, it is not to send them to small bookers and vulcanizing shops.
It is therefore to bring to the consciousness of everybody the need to stamp out child labor that the United Nations set aside a day annually to combat the inhuman act.
If an individual is poor, it is the reason for him to take a decision within himself that my children will not be as poor as I am. And that means that you will send them to school to learn sustainable professions that can change their destinies in life.
Available statistics by the International Labour Organization reveals that 1 in 10 children globally is engaged in child labor. While the number of children exposed to the acts declined by 94 million since year 2000, the rate of reduction was, however, slowed down by 2/3 in recent years. My respondents regret that child labor deprives victims of their childhood rights, potential and dignity, creates in them mental, physical, social and moral harms, thereby calling for an urgent resistance and extinction.
If my mom got money for this, now I'm not going to sell fish again at school.
Nobody is even saying that COVID-19 has not contributed to increasing the poverty in the land. But we are saying, how do we react to poverty? Is it because somebody has a daughter and then you say, okay, I am poor, but I have something I can use to make money? So your child becomes an instrument of making money and send that to the brothel.
Until children like Elizabeth, Francis and their likes are discouraged from engaging in child labor, my respondents found that Sustainable Development Goal 8 may remain a mirage.
I think we should go back to our culture, our tradition, where the society helps in training and empowering children. I think that will help. Now, remember the Almajiri boy who was maltreated by his teacher in Gombe State? We featured his story not too long ago. Well, it was a big relief and joy for the underaged victim of abuse when the wife of the state governor, Ashma Inuwa Yahaya, ensured the reunification of the child with his family. Zara Umar Adamo reports that efforts have also been made to address the harsh difficulties that led to the separation of the child from his mother.
Little Ali went into tears the moment the wife of the governor held him with motherly love and affection, something he missed since he left home in Damboa, local government area of Borno State, to Gombe after the death of his father as a result of the insurgency. Ali's mother revealed that he was handed over to the teacher by his uncle to reduce the burden of her shoulder, considering the fact that the children are 7. When asked of the trade the mother could engage in to enable her take Aliyu back home and cater for all her children, she said granite oil processing, which she requires capital. The governor's wife supported little Aliyu's mother with an undisclosed amount of money, calling on mothers to engage in trades to be able to bring up their children properly.
It's a very sad case, and from indication, I can see the mom has learned a lesson, and I hope many more women will learn from that, and a lot of families too that bring their children to Zangaya schools.
The leaders of the internally displaced persons in Gombe. The gesture shows that kindness has no boundary with the support to the woman that was brought to Gombe by the governor's wife. Sometimes it takes only one act of kindness and caring to change a person's life. Aliyu's life, his mother, and the rest of the children will change for good. It could be recalled that little Aliyu was brutally beaten by his teacher, which resulted in him running away from the school.
Good and encouraging news, thanks to the wife of the governor, and I trust she will keep a tab on him and others like him. Time for a break. Newsline will continue shortly.
We just having a good time, and I'm feeling so good now.
Where you did? I dey come now. You go see me now. You go.
Call your party and everybody, yeah. Make we start to the corner. Where you did now?
You go see me now.
Everybody they dance.
Where you did now? Oh you go see me now.
You want
I fine, sir. Even me, I surprised. Hello, how are you?
Tell us one truth nobody knows.
I like to steam it from my mama's pot.
The best data plans in town. Dial *777#.
luxury Abuja. Big, back, and better.
When times are tough, we know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. Its great value, it protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
It is time for celebration. Oh. 30 years bustling with goodness. Eh. No challenge can ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate. Ultra Guinness, bustling with so much greatness. Ultra Guinness, enjoy our world of good.
ITF, developing the nation's human resource.
Welcome back. Now, Lagos State Office for Disability Affairs, in partnership with Center for Citizens with Disabilities and Rule of Law Office of the British Council, have taken a bold step to produce abridged versions of the Lagos State Special People's Law in indigenous languages to protect their rights across the metropolis. Musa Toliat reports.
It's not been easy, but of course, we're surviving.
Susan Kelechi is the Assistant Secretary of the Joint National Association of Persons Living with Disability in Lagos. Her joy knew no bounds when the former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Raji Fashola, enacted the Special People's Law in 2011. 10 years down the line, she is still concerned about discrimination against persons living with disability.
In Lagos, we have over 2 million persons living with various forms of disability, so it's important that the law is implemented so that more persons with disabilities would enjoy the dividends of democracy.
Just to be included in what is going on in the society has been a challenge on its own. That people see us as, or relegate us to the background.
Daily challenges faced by the special people necessitated the move by the Center for Citizens with Disability to convene an interactive forum where a abridged version of the law in Yoruba language and Pidgin English are subjected to scrutiny and validated by the participants.
We can't just continue to agonize, but to organize ourselves in ensuring that we, in practical ways, support the state and the citizens in getting understanding of the law.
We believe that every hand must be put on deck to make sure that people with disability know their rights.
The coming days will be devoted to advocacy drive to intimate the public about the contents of the abridged versions of the Special People's Law in the state.
Great initiative, very laudable. Now, for the people of Gusau-Shafe Federal Constituency, it has never been this good for them in terms of representation at the House of Representatives. The decision to elect Honorable Kabiru Mai Palace is one that they're not only happy about, but cherish. That explains the making of his 2 years as their representative by counting the lives he has touched through his empowerment and relief projects. Suleiman Babajia reports.
It is not uncommon to have the electorate complain of neglect by politicians after elections. But the people of Gusau Tafe Federal Constituency of Zamfara State have not experienced such with their representative, Honorable Kabir Ahmadu Mai Palace, whom they have described as a rare gem and trailblazer.
Some, after their victory, will limit themselves to Abuja, and even when they come home, you don't see them. But Mai Palace is different. He picks calls and is always willing to help his people.
Education, security, women and youth empowerment dominated his campaign promises, and these form the thrust of his engagement in 2 years as member of the 9th Assembly. He has sponsored bills and moved several motions, fully executing his primary responsibility as he had previously promised, which is making laws that would positively touch lives. Now the people of Gusau Tafe Federal Constituency celebrate Honorable Ahmadu for his commitment, honesty, accessibility, and dedication to their cause. Many benefited from his series of empowerment programs, which are based on the identified need gaps to boost economic activities as well as wealth creation. Sewing machines, tricycles, motorcycles, cars, grinding machines, generators, fertilizer and food items have been distributed to the constituents. An effort Honorable Ahmadu believes will complement the efforts of the state government in alleviating poverty in Zamfara State.
This is almost like the 4th time sharing this kind of items to needies in the state. So with this one, we said we can beat our hand on our chest to say that yes, our member is doing well.
Why I invested hugely on issues of empowerment is for me to tackle the issue of poverty and the redundancy among our youths, which is what normally used to ignite them to go into issue of this insecurity, whatever that we are facing in the society. We have 2 or 3 categories of empowerment. We have empowerment for those people that went to school. We have empowerment for married women mostly. Then we have empowerment for people that doesn't go to school.
Mai Palace has equally renovated and furnished a model primary school, Zabarna. The construction of bridge in Iko Road, Tuada, in Gusau is ongoing.
I am part of the youths that have gotten the opportunity to be here in my states. And I don't want to spoil the chances of other upcoming youths.
To the people of Gusau Tafe Federal Constituency, Honorable Kabir Ahmadu Mai Palace has emerged as an icon of service to humanity, a mentor, torchbearer, and a source of hope and confidence for his generation.
Don, keep up the good work. Now, 3 years after the demise of renowned Kano-based Islamic scholar and philanthropist, the late Khalifa Isiaka Rabiu, some of his legacies continue to impact on the society. One of such is the Quranic recitation competition, which was organized to immortalize the late leading light in Islamic education. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, who captured the closing ceremony, reports that Muassasa Foundation is the brain behind the initiative set up to propagate Islamic education.
As exemplified by the glorious Quran, reading or recitation of the Holy Book is fundamental to knowledge propagation. Late Sheikh Khalifa Isiaka Rabiu endeared many faithful to this noble goal. The 4-day Quranic recitation competition was organized in his blessed memory under Muassasa. Students compete in recitation of different chapters of the Holy Quran in categories of gender. The overall winner for males category, Jibrin Salisu, was crowned by the Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero. Others received prizes based on their performance.
I feel so excited. Alhamdulillah, I thank God. I really thank God, inshallah, subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Emir Bayero urged participants not to relent in pursuing Western education, as Quran is a shining light to knowledge acquisition. We thank God for the life spent by Khalifa, and now you have taken over.
We are indeed very grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to host such a gathering that honors the Holy Book. We've dedicated this recital competition in memory of our late father Khalifa Isaac Arabi, who has devoted his entire life to the worship of Allah, propagation of Islam, and the teachings of the Holy Quran and its recitation.
I commended the foresight of the initiators of this competition. We are hoping to maintain the teachings of Khalifa. The foundation has now made it as an annual event.
Congratulations to the winners. Now, how do you treat the elderly whenever you come across one? Are you aware that the way you treat them is capable of either reducing or increasing your lifespan? Well, while we ponder on this, let's join Kelvin Samuel as he takes us through the life and experiences of a 110-year-old woman in Ikotani community, Itu local government area of Akwa Ibom State.
NTA is a community in the local government area of Akwa Ibom State where the elderly are highly respected and celebrated, a place known for longevity as the elderly serve as the wisdom bank for the young ones who regularly visit them for counsel. Madam Nkoyo Koridem is one of such elderly persons in the community. At 110 years, Nkoyo is still very strong with her memories intact. At a time when those much younger than her are battling with one health challenge or the other, Madam Nkoyo is still actively involved in a number of activities like farming, cooking, etc. Nkoyo, who was obviously excited to receive the NTA crew at her home, spoke on life in the past, wondering how things have deteriorated to where they are today. According to her, they had lived in love and unity in their days without fear of any form of criminality. She wondered why in some places today the aged are attacked witches by the same people they suffered to bring up. She noted that local delicacies as well as regular exercise through farming are some of the things that have kept her strong.
Life was far better and easier in our days. Young people loved and respected the elders. We ate natural meals and drank from the streams, yet we were healthy and happy. Men were respected for the contents of their character and not the size of their pockets. There were rules and regulations which were adhered to by all.
Madam Koyo is not alone in this, as there are a number of other persons, including an 86-year-old village head who also shared his life experiences while advising the youth to learn to respect others and adhere to elderly instructions.
When you honor an elderly person, he prays for you. In fact, you may live longer, except the wish of God.
As women, not her alone, there are others who are old, who can give us a great advice, and we are carrying out the advice to survive in the village. We cannot do away from them.
Has been transferring the information, the knowledge she had from one generation to the other generation to us.
We need to show respect to our elders. We should also,
check our lifestyle. But that's another thing that could also affect our lifespan.
At a time, people hardly live up to 60 and above. It seems life only begins at 80 in Ikononia community, leaving one to wonder what could be responsible to this.
Researchers head to that community. We must find out what they eat and how they live so long, okay? It's good for research, honestly. We need to learn. Time for another break. Newsline will continue after that.
We may look alike, but we are very different individuals. Everybody believes their way is best. That's why Golden Penny Pasta is our favorite meal.
Golden Penny Pasta, made with durum wheat, is tasty, nutritious, a source of protein and fiber, and non-sticky. So you can cook, serve, and eat your pasta just the way you like it. With Golden Penny Pasta, your way is best.
'Cause I'm the new best thing. I'm the new best thing. Better than you've ever seen.
Discover new Guinness Smooth. Perfectly balanced for a smooth, refreshing taste.
Yeah, I'm the new best thing.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youth, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria, pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
And that's all we have on today's edition of the Trophy Live Trivia. But before I go, I just want to say this. Keep your energy up. Don't be so hard on yourself. You dey walk now, guy. You dey also go. You deserve a trophy with your fellow honorables. Anything you do that gives you the kick is worth recognition. Just look at yourself in the mirror and say, wow. Now honorable I be you. And even when we are feeling so stressed up, we can ginger each other up and share some good bottles of Trophy Lager. Because anyhow we be, when honorables gather, we share, we dream, and we win together. My name is still Fowles, aka Fowles the bad guy. Honorable was Bayi.
On the wings of democracy, Nigeria celebrates June 12. Issues of progressive democracy and nation building on focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. promises to be incisive and educative. Join us.
Welcome back. Now, these days, in the name of fashion, you see people parading all kinds of styles and colors of hair in the streets of cities and even villages. Most perplexing is that a woman can now wear different hairstyles on different days within 1 week. Momso Damian Dati has details.
Comfortable, just feel comfortable. I don't have to, maybe when I'm rushing out in the morning, I start having to pack and pack. No, I can just take my bath, look good, and just move out.
At a certain point, I decided to go natural, and I'm telling you, I'm really enjoying it. It's softer, it's longer, it's stretchier, and then it's just natural.
I prefer it short for fresh air. Easier to maintain and cheaper. Apart from being easier to maintain, it's cheaper to also manage.
Irrespective of level of education, social class or economic status, women always consider their hair crucial to their beauty.
You know, the glory of a woman is from hair. When you make your hair, it looks very beautiful, unique. Your hair, your face will get different look.
Change is said to be the only thing constant, and women's hair and styles seem to experience this more than anything these days. The evolution of hairdo from matting, weaving to thread and sacks, and now attachments and weave-ons or wigs give women varieties to choose from.
This style, they call it twisting. So it's the color that is this color. This is the color that people are using now. You know, ladies, they'll like something that will bring their color out. The person that I'm making this one for is tall. That person don't like short hair, so she prefer long. If she's walking, she will be flinging the hair, you know.
Little wonder, one can now see women carrying 5 different hairstyles at will, or on every single day of the week to match their dressing.
And this is what is hiding under this. I use wig because it is very convenient for me and economical. I have choices, other choices to make when it comes to looking different daily. Unlike those days when we just braid on your head, whether the weather is hot or not, you have no choice, you have it made already. But with my wig, when I get tired, especially when I get home, the first thing I do is just to take it off.
But what do the men folk think about all these?
For the women, you know, they can always change their hairstyle per second. They have different wigs, the color, red, black, yellow, green, and then they do it to suit the kind of the lips glow or whatever they call they put on there, and then to also suit the kind of dresses.
I like it naturally. And I like everybody to wear the same natural hairstyle. That's me.
You see more of that with African women, and I want to believe our hair is beautiful, so our women should learn to be on their natural hair. You know, there is no need wearing wig or weave on or whatever they call it.
And what has modesty got to say?
Islam does not allow you to attach hair to your hair. And when you go to Surah Al-Nisa, verse 119, Allah says that the devil promises Allah that we control them. فَلَا يُغَيِّرَنَّ خَلْقَ اللَّهِ. They will be changing what God has created. Body that attach. And the person that is helping to attach, if it is another hair you are attaching to your head, you are committing a sin.
He said here is the glory of the woman. But now we discover that some people will come with green hair, they come with white hair, depend on the color that they like, which is not in the biblical injunction. The God told us that we should be in the way that the Lord created us. Your dressing should be accurate in the way of the Lord. That give God the honor.
Didn't they say variety is the spice of life? I mean, what is fashion to one may not be fashion to another. Now to a sad story. She went to bed full of bright hopes, anxious for her graduation in a month's time and focusing on promises of life, having invested time and resources to study for a brighter future. Sadly, she didn't wake up to continue with her dreams. The lifeless body of Mercy Sunday Mari, a final-year student of political science of Bayero University, Kano, was discovered in the morning in her room at the hostel. Elizabeth Yimla Lamido is set to tell us about the painful mystery.
Mercy Sunday Mari was a vibrant and high-spirited final-year student of political science, preparing for graduation in a month's time. She goes about her daily academic routine with no premonition that she will not live to graduate and move to the next phase of her life. As she went to bed on a fateful Monday evening, in a room she shared with 5 other girls on campus, only her lifeless body was left to the shocking discovery of her roommates the next morning. Late Mercy was said to have been sick for a while and was admitted at the school clinic before being discharged after showing signs of improvement, as explained by the Director of Health Services of the university, Dr. Manir Suleiman.
She was admitted for 2 days for a treatment of malaria. She had parenteral treatment and IV fluid and was discharged 7 or 6 days prior to her demise. We found that she got better following the admission.
The Dean Student Affairs, Bayero University, Kano, Shamsuddin Umar, said the deceased hails from Nasarawa State. Her family have been contacted and the school had taken responsibility for conveying the corpse to her home for final interment.
Her father is also late, so we called the mother and informed her, and the mother connected us with her relatives that are here in Kano, so they came down, and the university has arranged the conveyance of the body.
To her friends and roommates, late Mercy Sunday had left an indelible mark in their lives which cannot be erased, and a vacuum in their hearts which cannot be easily filled.
We were like a family in the room. We were all one. She had a very nice personality. I would just call her a very sweet angel.
Whenever I even come back from lecture and she's in the room, I always feel like, yeah, I'm back home.
It came to us as a surprise. It was shocking, but she passed easily, and we asked God to rest her soul.
Wherever she is, to find peace.
Kind-hearted, jolly-spirited, and full of life. That was the description of late Mercy Sunday by her friends and classmates. She was a gentle soul that will be greatly missed.
May her dear soul rest in peace. Now, the desire to do good is inherent in every human being, particularly as the Holy Scripture commands everyone to do good and love their neighbors. But when a good deed leads to death, it leaves much to be desired. Susan Asukwo in this report brings us a story of a 22-year-old Ephraim Edet Okun, who was murdered by a friend he assisted.
At which young people are being murdered in their prime is becoming increasingly alarming. Just like the recent murder of Inubong Umoren, the job seeker, a 22-year-old Ephraim Edet Okun has been murdered by his own friend, whom he gave some financial assistance. Report has it that late Ephraim Okun and Akpani Koisien, who took his life, were friends from their secondary school days. However, the relationship got sour and everything took a different twist when Akpani Koisien borrowed the sum of 30,000 naira from his friend Ephraim. After several demands for a refund of his money, late Ephraim Okun, in company of another friend Samuel, went to Akpaniko's residence along Jeep Street to Uyo to demand for his money. Little did he know that he will never return home alive. After a heated argument between the two friends, it is allegedly reported that Akpaniko, the debtor, knocked Ephraim down and ran over him with his car. The creditor Ephraim Okun was confirmed dead in the hospital, while Akpani Koisien reported himself to a nearby police van, claiming to have killed a kidnapper.
Akpani Kokon James is a bona fide friend of the deceased. They were in nursery school together. They have been friends for many years. So on that very evening, he called my cousin, Ephraim Edet Okun, to come and collect the money.
That a friend will lure a friend in the name of coming, come, let me give you the debt I had owed you. But it turned out to be a sad incident.
The remains of late Ephraim Okun have been laid to rest, but friends and members of his family are demanding for justice for the young 22-year-old.
All I seek the government of Akwa Ibom State is for justice for Ephraim.
Everybody who would sit on this case, if you are a mother or a father, you know the pain of putting your child to Mother Earth.
we will not seek vengeance, because vengeance is of the Lord. But we will seek justice legally to logical conclusion.
The young Ephraim Ederokon, until his death, was working as a phone repairer in Uyo while waiting for his admission into the Nigerian Defense Academy.
Justice must be served. Now, 8 communities in Remi local government area of Katsina State are battling rising cases of malnutrition among their children. A local hospital says in the past 2 years, it received not less than 30 cases weekly. Hamis Rogo reports that a special intervention to address the situation could ease it.
The graphics can be harsh, but they are factual. They are a reflection of the scenario that unfolds in this health center every day. It is in Tsagero, a Remi local government area of Katsina State. Tsagero and over 8 communities close to it come up with over 30 cases of malnutrition among children to this clinic every week. Hospital officials were in fact afraid that the cases reported to the hospital may not be actual reflection of the malnutrition statistics around the villages. Great number of children are never reported to the hospital. Many are brought only when not much can be done. In such a situation, death is not far away. In fact, mortality is not uncommon with the malnutrition patients in these 9 villages.
We have educated our women. We are educating them first to even get the materials, because it's all our local foods, local materials at home. So after educating them to do it privately in their own respective houses, we are also attempting it at this center, so that when they come, we give them the sample. For those who cannot even do it, we even support whenever they need it.
This clinic in Tsagero is a special hospital to treat malnutrition cases only. It is a community health center built through federal intervention under Community and Social Development Program. Tsagero has actually a government health center, but it is often overwhelmed with the cases of malnutrition.
We understand from the records of the hospital that there are some cases, reported cases of malnutrition problem. So that is what motivated us to even initiate, start thinking on execution and forwarding the request to the CSDP for the construction of this center.
This is a typical clinic day on this malnutrition care center. Mothers receiving counseling on how to prepare special diet to control malnutrition and other relevant health services. There is this special ward also in the center where hospitalization of patients is required. Children with various degrees of malnutrition cases are attended to here. This boy has a bare case of malnutrition. He's a victim of broken home. His parents divorced, and his mother's younger sister is taking care of him when the mother wanted to remarry. Food after weaning was hard to come by. Low level of income and scarcity of food with the right nutrients are blamed for the high rise of malnutrition in these villages.
From the record, we can say there is an improvement from before the construction and the execution of this project. Comparing it with the present situation now, I can rate it to 60 to 70% improved success.
In the meantime, this health center continues to offer services to these 9 communities with the passion and at no cost.
The intervention must be sustained. It's very important. We'll take a last break for now.
Classes on television for students in secondary schools in English and mathematics will commence on the NTA. The revision classes will transmit Mondays to Fridays from 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on the network service of the NTA. This is organized in preparation for the various national examinations and orders. This is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Education.
The much anticipated UEFA Euro 2021 is finally here. Can Portugal defend the title they won 4 years ago as they faced world champions France, Europe giants Germany, Spain, Italy and England? Catch Watch all the action via live transmission, in-depth studio analysis, fixtures, results, updates, and lots more on NTA, Africa's largest TV network. For sponsorship and advert placement, contact Bola on 080-37-044-286 or Idris on 080-34-633-644. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by NTA in partnership with Media Business Solutions, MBS Sports.
Welcome back. Now, the final burial ceremony of the eldest man in Igara, Akokedo local government area of Edo State, Chief Josiah Adefarati Enyolorunwa Sani Dioshemi Onayemi of Igara Kingdom, who lived 111 years, was another opportunity to showcase the rich culture and tradition of Igara land in Edo State. Nuruddin Izwege captured the sights and sounds of the event.
The royal drums were rolled out at the traditional procession to officially announce the burial of the Oshimi Onayemi of Igara Kingdom from Ugbogbo to Ufa community as tradition demands. Mr. Rafael Sani and Prince Sani David said that the exercise is to announce the death and the burial of the patriarch of Igara Kingdom.
It's an heroic procession of the royal drum, Arigede drum, that we are taking out to respect him, to respect him, to give him honor for who he is.
This is a ritual that is observed by the royal kindred of the Shimoloko family, and it is a very, very, very sacrilege thing that we have to perform, you know, when occasions like this arise.
Barrister Sunday Mayaki and other community members spoke about the traditions of the land and good life Chief Josiah Adefaroti Enyonorudasani, the Oshimi Onayemi of Igara Kingdom, lived.
What we are doing now is the final burial right for him.
He's a man that one should reckon with.
Some of the children described their father as a man that is loved by all, and also spoke on the legacies of their late father.
I lived as a community and head of a clan in the community of Igara here. And the Shimoloko clan is one of the royal clans of Igara.
Chief Josiah Adefaroti Enyonorudasani, the Oshimi Onayemi of Igara Kingdom, passed on to glory at the age of 111. He is survived by one wife, 40 children, many grandchildren, and great-grandchildren.
May his dear soul rest in peace. Now, that's a package for Newsline today. Until next week, when another episode of the program comes your way, have in mind that a single stick can burn, but a bunch can burn better. God bless Nigeria.